Now, as we know, things are not done by accident, specifically when it comes to these systems that have been put in place, right? To keep us in a slumber, to keep us in fear, to keep us seeking outside of ourselves, and to keep us in a loop, in a rabbit hole of seeking truth, right? When in reality, all that we need is all within ourselves, right? And it comes to mind in the Bible where it says, "Seek and you shall find. The truth will set you free." And so I want to clarify, I am not the person that will recite the Bible and tell you this script is over here and you'll find this in chapter whatever, line whatever. That's just not who I am. I'm not there yet. One of the things that I need to do is get on that, but I've been procrastinating. But there are certain things that come up as I deliver these messages, right? And so, again, we're going back to the part of activating the right side of our brain, which is our feminine side of the brain, which is the nurturing part of ourselves, the intuition, right? And how that affects us when it comes to us being able to operate at our full capacity. Because our brain, we're only using 10% of our brain, right? We aren't operating our fullest capacity, right? And the systems in place keep us in a state where certain information that is instrumental for our well-being is hidden, right? And it keeps us in attached to systems that are meant to keep us stuck so that we don't ever come out of those boxes to seek truth for ourselves, or that even if we did want it to, we're so busy either consuming or producing things that are irrelevant for our well-being when we look at the bigger picture, right? So in a smaller picture, we can see this reality as, I have to go to work because I need to pay bills. That's valid, right? I need to be able to provide for my family, for my children. I need to be able to get things done here, right? And so they leave you with enough room for you to make it to church on Sunday or attend a Bible class on a Wednesday, right? But no more than that. We don't have the privilege to be able to really sit back and reflect and do the inner work when it comes to atoning with ourselves, when it comes to atoning with God, when it comes to forgiveness, when it comes to detaching. Usually when those of us who have had experiences with addictions and have done a program, we are actually very lucky. In reality, we are. When we look at the scales of things and we come to a position of doing the inner work for our souls, for the salvation of our souls, right? We come to understand and appreciate that experience, because that experience, what it gave us was our souls back, right? And so humanity doesn't have that privilege unless they are going through some type of detrimental situation where they need the emergency help. And then at that point, it only goes to a surface level because we're trying to treat something at that time where something within ourselves has manifested into our reality, right? So that attachment that we have has overcome us, and we now have to be in a recovery program, and we're being forced to do step work. If you know, you know, or maybe not, right? Now, that exact work is the work that we need in order to heal ourselves at a human level, at a soul level. That reflection, that going within, that meditation, that prayer, that that is what's needed. That's part of the equation in order to heal ourselves, in order to come up out of whatever it is that we have been engaging with or dwelling in, and overcome it, right? And so nothing is done by coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that the right side of, you know, our brains have been strategically targeted so that we are just operating with 10%, right? And just like we come to the understanding that Earth is a school and that we come here to learn lessons and to overcome certain obstacles and experience certain things, part of the things that we are supposed to experience is the illusion of separation. Not only separation at an external degree, but also separation within ourselves, and then that also includes God. It we have been painted the picture that we're separate from God. In reality, God resides within us, and all we have to do is get to a point of remembrance. And I usually use the term remember as remember, like go, like rejoin yourself, join again, come into unity with yourself again, right? And the way that we do that is through a process in which we must heal. We must allocate time to be able to do this for ourselves, because this is something that only we can do for ourselves. And with so many distractions put in place, it's very difficult, if not nearly impossible, for us to find the time to do so, right? And so with things happening in humanity today and so many truths being revealed, we want to be able, there's so many truths coming at us, right? And we might want to dig into that and look into that and dig into that. In reality, that's another form of distraction. The only way that we can heal collectively as the human race is to mind our business and go within. Truly. Like, just forget what such and so has going on, forget what the other country is happening over there. Truly just allocate time for yourself and go within. And if that means just not focusing on somebody else's, whatever someone else has going on, but literally just addressing something about you, just one thing today, and working on that one thing for however long it takes you. Because forgiveness is not linear. Healing is not linear. But if we start to just allocate time for us, start pouring into ourselves instead of watching that show that keeps us, like binge watching, let's not do that. At least just for today. And let's, maybe contemplate on something, reflect on something, even if it's just a tiny thing. Because those little tiny habits of like just giving 5 minutes to that and giving 5 minutes to this and like that, they add up later on, right? And so as long as our attention, our focus is on other things, external things, we'll never make it to the point of coming into unity with oneself. Okay.